Hello everyone, and welcome back to some more Let's Play Occult Chronicles with me, your host Tim. We left off, Harley Faerun was exploring the remains of the first level of this horrible mansion, and has gotten darn lucky in doing so, all things considered. We've gotten a great deal of experience from some of the quests that we have done, despite our earlier failures. And now it's time to explore more of the mansion together. We've left behind a few items that we know, well, that I know we will eventually end up needing. When we left off, we also turned in the vase of the entrapped child, returning it to her mother here. Most of the encounters in the mansion have a happy ending of that sort as well, assuming that you don't flat out destroy the creature that you encounter. It occurs to me that when I'm playing as well, everyone, the game, the actual card game, I might not be explaining why I'm making the choices that I'm doing, nor might have I explained what's actually going on to the best of my ability. I will attempt to do so for the next encounter and so on that we meet. Okay, so where are we going now? I came back over here to turn back in the vase. Sorry, the music for this game is incredible. Alright, well, let's explore these side chambers, shall we? That's an interesting bed, with chalk marks around it, probably to protect it. We'll search the room. There's something there. Two things in this chamber. You'll note that I try to explore every single space. This is because clue tokens could be located anywhere. The bad news is that so can traps, so you have to be very careful. The Weeping Girl. You are drawn to the soft sound of sobbing somewhere ahead. It is a sound that is very unsettling. As you approach, you see the small figure of a little girl standing in front of you with shoulders slumped and its head tilted down. You instinctively ask, "Is everything okay?" And it turns to look at you. That's when you realize you are staring directly at a ghost. The girl stands there sobbing quietly and looking at you. It's one of the most creepy things that you have seen, and that's actually saying a lot. Alright everyone, I don't know if I mentioned it, but the difficulty of all these horror checks will slowly continue to increase as the game goes on as well. And different creatures have different difficulty modifiers, so it will begin getting tougher and tougher for us. Right, so let's do the horror check. We've definitely got more than, we should be more than capable of passing these by now. Assuming that, of course, cards show up that I need, the tricks show up that we want. And we didn't. Really unlucky for us. You struggle to keep your sanity. The whole effect of the little girl standing there is chilling and very scary. My name is Samaria. What's yours? Have you seen Danny? I think they got Danny. She seems to speak directly into your mind. The sobbing resumes again, and you're not sure if that is just in your mind as well. We can communicate with her, probably because our mental is strong enough. Let's go ahead and do so. You decide to use her psychic talents as a medium to find out who Danny is and what happened to him. We've had better draws than this. Okay, so a 3 of swords will only play the 4 of swords. It usually works in your interest to play what you just barely need to take the card, unless you're about to win, in which case play the best card you've got to give you the most points. Ah, darn it. Nice. You enter a trance and soon are talking with the ghost child Samaria. She explains what has happened to Danny and wants you help. And wants you help. Wants you help. Well, that's creepy. Samara explains to you that Danny was her toy doll, and that bad toys have probably taken him and will do terrible things to him. She pleads with you to bring Danny back to her. The sobbing ghostly tears is enough to turn anyone's resolve into jelly, or apparently scare us the hell out of our mind. Let's see if we can find these dolls. They're usually in a very large room as well, whenever I've encountered them before. The ballroom tends to be where they're located. The Butler's Ghost. A tall, well-dressed figure looms into view, holding a silver platter in one hand as if to offer you an appetizer. Your eyes travel down to the platter and behold a half-human head. You feel a surge of panic growing within you. Looks like we are taking some stress damage from this creature. You've been trained to expect and deal with things like this. Even so, no matter how many times you see something like this, it still requires steady nerves to keep calm. Wow, this is a fantastic draw. Well, again, everyone, I don't know. Let's explain this a little bit more. Whenever we pick a card, if we have a matching suit in our hand, we must play a match to this card before we can reveal any other card on the board. The knight is worth, what is it worth? 1, 2, 3 points, and this is worth 1 point. So we will earn 4 points upon taking this trick. I'm going to play the... this is interesting. So if there's a knight here in one of these 3, the queen was a better one to hold on to. However, if there was a king here, and I have used a page on the 2, well then we lose out on the points. We're also getting very near the end, so I'm more interested in getting a higher score at this point. It's practically over. We'll use the knight. This is, after all, only a horror check, so I'm not too concerned about this. You have kept your sanity. Are you the head waiter? You drolly inquire. Standing in front of you is the figure of what was obviously once a butler or servant. You say once because you are sure that what now confronts you is a supernatural entity of some sort. It is the most corporeal ghost that you have ever encountered. You have read of such things in Tobin's Spirit Guide, but you are certain that this is very unusual. You approach the butler, and his glowing eyes are fixed on you. The head of the plate suddenly stares up at you as well. "May I help you, sir?" it intones, and you are not sure if you actually heard its voice in your ears or just in your head. You decide to use your psychic talents as a medium to converse with the butler. Despite his ghostly dinner tray, he seems harmless enough. We do have a Queen of Swords. Hopefully we'll have a sword up here we can immediately take. Like, that lets us win. Something I haven't explained is that you might want to fail if you draw all, like, super low cards, and especially if the target number is very low, as it is here, because we could get a lot of card picks from the rewards if we have a large amount of... if our total is significantly higher than the target number. Oh, that's fantastic. That's 3 points. The queen is 4 for 7 total. Give me 9. This is great. We're going to get at least, I think, 5 cards, 4 or 5 cards at the end of this. Despite his calm demeanor, the seemingly corporeal apparition of the butler is quite distressed. It seems the chef has botched preparation of the master's dessert. He desires your help. Oh, that sucked. The butler wants you to go and find the chef in the kitchen and order him to prepare the master's dessert again. He says that the master will be pleased and promises to reward you if you help him out. Well, the kitchen might be down on this side. When the game spawns rooms, it tends to spawn them in ways that make sense. The knife is over here. This looks like another dining room. So 2 dining... oh, wait, this looks like a... no, this is a preparation room for food, I guess. Look at all the knife marks on the table. That's really well done. This will be the kitchen. There's usually a evil-possessed stove in here. And it's going to be in this room. It's one of these 2. The other is probably the butler. Oh, the old refrigerator! You come across an odd sight for this house, and that is saying something. Before you stands a 1922 Kelvinator refrigeration unit. Who knows how it got here? You notice that the door is hanging slightly ajar. Your eyes are drawn to the interior of the main porcelain cabinet, and you are shocked by what you see. Jars and jars of internal organs, some human, some you are not sure of. Your stomach churns at the sight of all these neatly stacked organ jars. The methodical alignments and the precision of the stacking makes you wonder about the evil, obsessive-compulsive genius behind this. Oh, okay. The target number's low, so the fact we didn't get a face card is still okay. 10. That stinks. Well, we have a 3 of cups. Play that there. Nice, that's 2 points. So we're only taking 1 loss so far. And that'll win it for us. Good. So no sanity loss. I will always flip over all the cards. There's no reason not to make the attempt. Even if you don't think you can win, any number that you get will help reduce the damage you take at the end of a challenge. Your mind is strong. You aren't going to go looking around for sandwich fixings, but the sight of organs and tissues, many of them still moving, doesn't really faze you. Rows of neatly stacked transparent jars and specimen dishes containing organs and tissue samples fill the inside of the main porcelain cabinet, each labeled in a neat mechanical hand-written script. You glance over the labels, noting some of the stranger ones: Krogan, Asari, Drell, Turian. I think these are the names of races for the Mass Effect series, right? On the bottom shelf is a rack holding dozens of vials, each also neatly labeled: Zingu Venom, Trace of the Beyond, Gnitz Acid, and these are alchemical ingredients from The Witcher, if I recall correctly. I'm still not sure if all of the ones from The Witcher are fake or if some of them actually are real. Obviously not the monster ones, but this is a quest for us later. We'll have to come back here if we want to do a quest for this mad scientist, I believe. Let's also save the game. Oops. The Ghost Chef. You see what at first looks like a blur of light and shadow moving back and forth in a circular pattern. It might even be the reflection from some nearby mirror or window. Suddenly, you see a ghost materialize before you. It's dressed in the classic attire of a chef with an apron and a distinctive cooking hat. You stop dead in your tracks and try to compose yourself. Your mind races contemplating this ghostly creature that has suddenly appeared before you. The fear it elicits is of course natural, but confronting the supernatural is never easy. Oh, 2 aces, man, that stinks. We can take the 4. Holy crap, that was lucky. There's no rhyme or reason to pick any particular trick card. We don't have anything that reveals tricks, nor do I have anything to help you with horror checks to my knowledge. So, we're just going to flip over anything. It doesn't matter really what we get. Hopefully we will have a decent cups. That works as well. We've won. No reason why we shouldn't try to get more points. You have kept your sanity. You might even emerge from this a little stronger. The ghostly chef floats about in a circle as if moving from workstation to workstation. It seems completely absorbed in what it is doing and does not seem to be paying you any attention. Order dessert. You have found the chef, apparently. It's time to use your skill as a medium and order the dessert. Alright, that will win it. Now I really want a queen so we have a chance to get more experience points. That works as well. Wow, this is working out well. 5, holy crap. Our 3 took the 2. You enter a trance and reach out to the ghost. It turns to look at you with a concerned face. You are here about the dessert, no? I would very much like to help, but I need my knife. It's run off somewhere. Once it's back, I will serve up a dessert to be remembered. Nice! Holy crap, 2 experience. Dessert. Yes, but my knife has run off somewhere. There will be no dessert until it's back. Have you found it? It's very sharp and very strong-willed. Has a mind of its own, you know. Please tell it to come back here at once. Look at the picture! There's a dead ghost's head that he's chopping off. You have a bad feeling about this. Okay. We have 5 points. We should take another skill card, right? I think that's what I wanted to do. Oh, an Latvian spell could be useful, but I really want another skill card. We need to take something that can give us swords. We do have a melee weapon, so we will take melee weapon specialist. You are a fencing grandmaster and an expert in almost any type of handheld weapon. When you see something as simple as a chair, you see a weapon. When you swing a chair, people get hurt. This will give us a swords bone. We already have a swords bone, so we don't need that. But we can increase our swords attribute from this. There are heroic feats and combat edges. Okay, this is our character. We cannot pick another skill card. So we are a thief, we're good with daggers, and we're decent with talismans. Very thematic, I think, for Harley. Okay, well, we know where the knife is. We should also see what this is. A pile of papers. You see a bunch of papers spread out on top of a desk. Among the clutter are an assortment of old envelopes, letters, and even a few parchment papers. This is pretty good. We should give this a try. You decide to search through the papers. You never know what type of useful information you might find there. So, different stacks of papers are for different quests. So we found one earlier. You'll note I didn't search that one. That's because my pentacles, I think, was only 2 at that time. I avoid searching papers until I have a chance to get a significant amount of successes. If you fail the papers, you do not get another chance to search it. So you want to make sure you have a decent chance to win this. Papers can give you all sorts of rewards as well. Oh, thank goodness we have a king. We just have to hope that we find a wands up here. Holy crap, that is wonderful. This will give us the most points ever. This is 9 points. Well, technically, if we played this card, that would give us almost the most. But this would have to be a king instead. This is wonderful. 9 points. That's going to give us at least 4 card draw so far. Played the 3 on the 2, because that's just barely above it. And we might get another low-level pentacles here. We have to play the cups. Ah, hello, king. Holy crap, we get to play the page. That really worked out for us. You don't come across anything earth-shattering, but there's enough information here to boost your confidence that you're on the right track. 7. Two experience as well. Wonderful. The papers will remain until we come back later. Alright, so let's go and save the game first off. That was incredibly lucky. So the only penalty I'm really worried about is our life. We only have 8 life. That is not a lot of life. Now we're decent at combat as well. Okay, there's very few things that will be a match for us on the first floor now. I can't believe we're doing so well so early into the game as well. All things considered, we are doing extraordinarily well. You gaze down at the knife, but try to keep your gaze from locking on to the memorizing eyes within the blade. You feel an oppressive presence in the room with you. The knife radiates pure evil. You resolve to approach this artifact with caution, and wonder how many throats this thing has slit. Wasn't there an anime in which people turned into weapons and you could see them in the weapons? Flee the knife, master the knife. So, I've never tried this. It would be kind of neat to get a weapon, but I think we'll just relay the message. That target number of 8 is particularly difficult. I would need to come back here much later to do it. Doing this, we don't get the knife as a weapon. We'll just get it as a quest item, and then we can bring it back to the chef and complete the quest. I'd be really tempted to try this, but I'm worried about the dagger killing us. If we do this, we can complete the butler's quest as well. Let's do this. We do have a knife already. Maybe we'll find another weapon later on. Oh, I played the 7 because that was the lowest sword card I had in my hand in order to move on past the queen. Ugh, a king of wands. We'll play our 6. Holding on to our knight. Wonderful. And we've won. We've convinced it to join us. Oh, that is fantastic. You enter a trance and are immediately assaulted with the desire to harm yourself. Before you know it, the blade is in your hand. But you fight back and make it listen to your command. The knife obeys. It will return to the chef shortly. Oh, crap! Game locked up. Alright, everyone. Well, I'll have to be back then. Okay, we're back. Right, yeah, so that is why I don't play on Reaper mode. Most of the games Vic Davis has made have this problem. It's not necessarily a... I don't mean to be overly critical of the games that Vic has made, but just be aware that this does happen. It's happened... It hasn't... I'm sorry. It has not happened in Armageddon Empires, but it's happened... It happens in this one, and it also happens in Solium Infernum. Quite a bit in that one, honestly. To the point... And that game actually crashes the desktop right after that. Actually, no. That does the same thing happens. Basically, the whole game locks, as it were. Alright, well, we're back. Let's go ahead and now turn this in. Zombies! You hate these guys. This place certainly knows how to keep you on your toes. Just don't build a summer house here. So this time, we're in a little better shape. And we also note that we don't have to actually pass a horror check. We'll attack them. Remember, Tim, that you have a knife special ability as well here. We can bump up one of my non-face cards. Non-face cards by a d6. Notice how this turned green? It's trying to hint to me, saying, hey, you have an ability you can use now. Pay attention to me. I'm usually pretty bad at noticing these things. Oh, this is crazy. Let's play the queen, because we don't need to hold on to her. We have the knight and page here as well. The only thing we can't take is the king. Everything else we can already take, because they're numbers with these. So I want the most points possible. So there we go. We could use our dagger and just do a thrust to get even more points. Let's do it. It'll encourage me to pay attention to the fact I've got this. Okay, we have to roll this. Now, if we roll a number higher than our swords, we fail and take a point of damage. Nice, and we equaled the number here. I think that let us take it. 1, 2, plus 6, 8. Hold on, she's worth 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, it earned us 2 more points. We do hassle the dagger? Yes, and it didn't consume the dagger either. Alright, let's win. You won the battle. Does this dismembered... Wow, I screamed that. Sorry about that, everyone. Dismembered zombie bodies still twitch around on the floor putting Quay show. Much better than the last time we did this, isn't it? Yes, I was hoping for life. I need life pretty darn badly. The experience point, though, is also very welcome. What do you guys think of the game? I like Occult Chronicles. Sometimes, like all of these games, that Cryptic Comet games, I lose my patience because RNG sometimes hates me. But we're doing extraordinarily well right now. Like, I can't believe how good we're doing. We're probably going to take a spell next, and then probably a melee edge or increase our swords again. Actually, we should probably increase our cups after taking an edge. This would be a 4 and everything. Technically, we only have 3 swords. Remember that the dagger is contributing +1 to us. Let's complete our quest. You enter a trance and tell the chef that you have located his knife. You had to insist a little, but it got the point. And these cutting-edge puns. Oh my goodness. Whew. The ghostly chef is still moving it in an energetic circle, seemingly wrapped in its ectoplasmic food preparations. You wonder if it couldn't leave this all behind, or is just being punished for some foul poisoning. The reward for the quest has been granted. We have earned 1 expertise token. And 1 life. Okay, well, I guess we can go down to the butler and turn that in, perhaps? We have 2. 1 more. The butler Oh, yep. You approach the butler and tell him what you have done. Thank you so much, sir. I was beginning to think that you had headed off in the wrong direction. Good show. Sorry, headed off? The head? Good show, sir. Good show. Good job on the puns, Vic Davis. Amazing job. And the reward for this is 1 experience point. 2 experience points. Wonderful. Okay, well, we got enough to take a spell. Or we can increase our cups. I'm going to take a spell. Actually, I'm going to save the game first. Odic Shield. Draw 1 bone and draw X additional cards. Oh, that's amazing. Roll 1 bone and select X non-face played cards and bump up the values plus X, where X is the number of pentacles rolled, and draw Y additional cards, where Y is the number of pentacles rolled divided by 2. Oh, okay. So this increases any cards we've played on the field, any non-face cards, and we get to draw additional cards into our hand. That's also really nice. Roll 1 bone and add X additional unrevealed trick cards to the board, where X is the number of pentacles rolled, and the total number of tricks does not exceed 10. Okay, I gotcha. So if we got nothing but garbage and our cards weren't able to match anything on the field, this would give us more options. Roll 1 bone and select X revealed non-face trick cards. Okay, and this is kind of the opposite of this incantation. This bumps down revealed non-face trick cards, and we get to draw more cards. I really like the Atlantean spells. I'm tempted to pick Odic Shield, though, just because this is pretty basic. And I don't have to worry. Let's think here. Alright, so I like I like them all. I like Odic Shield and Death Incantation a little better than Tap Essence and Voice of Ka. We're going to grab Odic Shield to start. Just flat card draw. Now let's take a look at that spell, shall we? Or is it? It's going to be here. It takes 1 energy to use it, and we begin with all 5 energy. It can only be used when... Spell, a Latin. Can only be used in combat or sorcery. Okay, good to know. Alright, let's keep going. Let's actually save the game. I really like that option. That's something else, by the way, about everyone about Reaper mode. You can't, if you don't like what you got as a pick, there's no way to undo it. Which in some cases, I mean, sure, that's fine, right? That you're playing Reaper mode. That's what roguelikes are like. However, note that a lot of the edges... Oh god! For a lot of the edges, you might think there's multiple upgrades to them, but there might not be any upgrades to them. I've been pretty sometimes shocked. I'm like, wait, I wouldn't have chosen this with only one, if it was only 1 point. I'll explain that after we read about the story advanced. Token drawn. A cornered animal. This vampire coven has been driven out of hiding several times, and each time lashed out like a wounded beast. Why did they send just 1 agent to reconnoiter this location? This has now changed the game slightly. In this case, all challenges that involve swords as the primary suit receive a +1 modifier to the target trick points needed to win the challenge while this story icon is active. In other words, all fighting has just increased difficulty by 1 point until the next story token is drawn. Alright, let's go this way. Are you the eating demon? The Ghost Baker. You think that you hear someone whistling at first. The gloom seems to part, and you encounter a figure engaged in a task of some sort. It's dressed in clothes from a previous era. As you come closer, you realize that you are in the presence of something supernatural. The figure is transparent and seems to glide here and there as if floating on air. No matter how many times you see something like this, it's always a bit of a shock. Your touch with the supernatural threatens to chip away at your sanity. Calm your mind and resist the terror that wishes to overwhelm you. Oh, well, it's good. We'll win immediately because of this. It's bad because, I want to play my queen on something better than an ace. To be fair, though, we might not get another swords. It's just a horror check. I'll hold on to the king. Darn it. You kept your sanity. At this point, you've almost gotten used to the spectacle of spirits of household servants scampering around their old haunts. That's very true. This is like the 8th of them you've seen now. The ghost that you are observing was obviously once a baker. You recognize the distinctive clothing and discern that it appears to be going through the motions of preparing bread for the oven. You sense, however, that it is agitated. It keeps repeating the same motions over and over as if stuck in some type of circle. It pays you no attention whatsoever. Let's obviously communicate with it. You decide to make contact with the ghost and listen to its story. Many focused hauntings like this have some unresolved business here in this world. Maybe you can help. You'll note, everyone, that when it comes to ghosts, our combat options are very limited. Basically, you have to use mental powers. Wands will determine if you can fight a ghost. You can't use magic on a ghost. It doesn't let you do so. Okay, well, that's good. We've won. Nice. We should definitely play the king, because it's over. You enter a trance and psychically reach out to the ghost. As you suspected, the ghost is caught in a psychokinetic rut of a sorts. It's not fully aware of this, but it seems eager to talk. That's the demon oven. I haven't any time for you, shouts the ghostly baker. Unless, of course, you can get my oven working again. It's wandered off somewhere, but I need it cleaned and fast. It's time to make the donuts. The ghostly baker pays you no more heed and goes back to his endless preparations. You will need to find this oven and clean it. Everyone, you might be too young to remember it's time to make the donuts. There is a donut chain called Dunkin' Donuts. And ages ago, there was this balding gentleman with a mustache. And he'd always be up early in the morning. This is a TV commercial. And he'd always be mumbling like, it's time to make the donuts. Time to make the donuts. As he wanders about to go and put the donuts in the oven and bake them. I only recently discovered that Dunkin' Donuts no longer bakes donuts at their shops anymore. Like they're distributed from certain bakeries that they have. Such a shame. I remember when I think they used to bake them at all the shops. Don't quote me on that though. Well, we need to find that oven. Ah! The second floor. We're going to pop up here very quickly, everyone, just to get it on our map. Okay, that's good enough. The second floor is only a little more difficult than the ground floor. We are a match for the second floor, given our statistics, but I will wait a tiny bit first. The oven's probably down this way. Let's check. Oh. Okay. This leads to the garden. Crap. Do I want to go this way? The garden is very dangerous because sometimes there's grenade traps in the path and the witches out there are tough. Or the Wicker Man is difficult. Oh, I'm not going to go out there right now. It's just too dangerous. Hello! This is probably where the polar bear is located. We have a chance to get a gun while we're in here as well. Oh, but this might only be the polar bear. I see the stuffed animals in here. Old broken gun cases. You notice several old broken gun cases. Upon closer examination, you see a scattered assortment of mostly antique weapons, through the glass panes that enclose the boxes. Let's search them. Most of the weapons appear to be old and broken and useless to you. You decide to spend a little time rummaging around to see if anything is salvageable. Oh, that's a shame. This is a bad roll. We have to play our knight immediately. So we've won, but we're not guaranteed to get anything from this. Like, we won't get a guaranteed... I don't know why I'm rephrasing what I just said. Yes, we can take you. Oh, this is working out for us because we're able to get more points than just 4. You find a few good candidates that might be salvageable. Oh, we actually get a gun. A Luger. Okay, awesome. And 2 extra bullets. When you find bullets, you are not allowed to hold on to them. You must immediately assign them to weapons. Our Luger had 1 less bullet in it, so we can take one of the 2 bullets and stick it over into this. Any bullets you don't take, you leave behind forever, and you can no longer pick them up. Flood of rats. At first you hear the telltale scratching and scuttling noises. Rats. Probably in the walls, you think. Ah, very nice. That is that's a nod to Rats in the Walls from H.P. Lovecraft. Without any further warning, a veritable tide of rats floods out towards you. You've heard stories about rats in the walls, but you were unprepared for this. You wonder if they really can take a man down to bones in a few minutes. Oh god, this horror check is difficult. We didn't get the best cards. We've got to use one. We might as well use the queen. We might as well. The knight beats the page. The only thing that beats us is the king. I'd rather not have a queen of cups in my hands if the king shows up, because that means I would have spent the knight. Your mind is weak. You struggle to maintain your sanity. The rats come towards you like an immovable force of nature. There must be 100 of them. If they overwhelm you, you fear that you might not be able to get back up. Flee them. Fight them. There is an exterminator. Is there an exterminator in the house? You are outnumbered, but not outgunned. We can't actually use our gun here. That's interesting. I guess the Luger doesn't let us use it. Select a non-face played card and bump its value up +2. That costs us 2 ammo to use it. Alright, we don't have a good deal of tricks here. Do I play the knight? Yes, I do. The page will beat these cards on us. But if a queen or king shows up, I will have regretted not playing the knight earlier. We need to play the king, because I don't want to take any damage from these guys. Our life is still only 10. You kill dozens, wound even more, and fling yet more away. At some point they break, like they were being controlled by a single will, and then scatter and flee. I love all the experience we're getting, but I really want more life. We have 3. Let's increase our swords another point. We'll go for cups next, and then we'll begin taking more, probably a melee edge after that, and then a lock device trap edge, followed by probably another trap edge after that. Give you some passives. Interesting place. We might as well search it. Oh god, this room. This room is very dangerous. If you can try to cross the middle part here, but if you fail, you're falling down to the cellar. And you don't want to be in the cellar that way, because you don't know how to get out of the cellar. It's really bad. I've been tempted to mod the game and add an option for you to step back away from this, because once you step on it, you've got to go across it. School, I think. I think we'll find the dolls in here. The ghost teacher. You hear a faint tapping sound at first. As you step closer, you observe a large chalkboard covered in strange formulas and symbols. The equations seem to be writing themselves. Suddenly, a ghostly figure materializes in front of you. It turns away from the chalkboard and, holding a piece of chalk in its ghostly hand, seems to examine you. Your mind fights to stay focused despite this supernatural assault against your senses. Pretty bad except for that Knight of Pentacles. Ah, but this lets us win it! And we take the page. Wonderful. You've kept your sanity. If you've seen one ghost, then you've seen them all. No, not really, but this one just doesn't scare you. You behold the ghost of what was obviously a school teacher. By the way she projects herself, you would guess that she must have lived in the middle or late 19th century. She seems to be looking around the room as if she were searching for something. A question from a student, perhaps. You decide to reach out with your psychic talents as a medium and make contact with the ghost. Perhaps it has information that could help you. Play the 10. Take that. Oh, shame. There goes our 9. You enter a trance but cannot establish contact with the ghost. Her worries about something consume her entire attention. Your head aches from the effort. We'll try again. No, I'm not going to use the king there. I'm going to hope for something a little better than that. And we don't. It actually cost me that game. I will play the knight. We'll win this. We have decent cards, so maybe we can get more points from this. We do. You enter a trance and establish contact with the ghost. She was a governess here in this house and was responsible for raising the children here in the mansion. She seems to need your help in finding them. The governess wants you to find her wards, Miles and Flora, and some of their friends who have joined them over the years. She has no idea where they are, but they must be around the house somewhere. She implores you to help her find her wayward students. It might be in this room, actually. Class 1 Haunting. The haunting manifests itself as a dim ball of light. It has no sense of its previous life or existence. It wanders hopelessly, lost. You should exercise caution. These haunts cannot be reasoned with, and they can be lethal if disturbed. We will try to destroy the ghost. You decide to use her psychic talents to dispel the ghost and send it to the spirit world. It will most likely resist. Oh god, what a terrible hand draw this is. Because this isn't a sorcery battle, we can't use our spell either. Wow, we're getting close to beating it. A shame. You engage in a psychic duel with the ghost. It overwhelms your psychic defenses and tries to get into your mind. Again. Our target got lowered by 1 point this time. Let's play the page. There's no real reason to hold on to it. The page would beat the 10. We have the 10 and 9. And anything lower than that, we've got the things to beat them. So we can get most points doing that. Let's just finish this creature off. It's a random encounter, so we might end up fighting it again. You engage in a psychic duel with the ghost. It turns its mindless anger and desperation against you, but you prevail. You feel that whatever it was before would thank you for the peace you gave it. Holy crap, 4 arcane energy. 5 arcane energy. Wow. Well, 7, I'm sorry. I don't need any of it. Our Odic shield is perfectly fine. Oh, hello, zombie hallway. That's what this is. You have a good chance to encounter a zombie while in this hallway. This must be where that oven's located. Thing in the oven. You stop dead in your tracks when you first see it. A large 19th century oven is shambling across the floor in front of you. It seems to rock back and forth, and you hear the loud scrapes that it makes as it hobbles forward. A sudden chill shoots down your spine as you realize that you are confronting something otherworldly here. You flinch in horror as a face seems to materialize and turn its attention to you. Haunted furniture and you never get along very well. Your eyes widen in disbelief as the possessed oven turns to meet your gaze. You must fight to keep your sanity. We should win this one. Oh, actually, no, we might not, Tim. You should pay attention to the cards you're using. And we don't. Your mind is weak. You feel as if imaginary flames were enveloping you, and your skin were burning off. You can hear the thing in the oven laughing in your mind. The possessed oven seems to rock back and forth as it sizes you up. You could swear you hear screams and souls trapped within the oven roasting in agony. This creature is the product of sorcery, or curse, and unfathomably evil. We can run away from it. Psychic duel, sorcery, attack. I think we just have to defeat it, right? Our best chance, actually, looks like it's going to be using sorcery. Let's do it. You decide to unleash your sorcerous power on the diabolical contraption. You've had success in the past dispelling such creatures by simply overwhelming their defenses. It's time to turn this one up to 11. Oh, we've done a lot better. Can we cast our spell? No? That seems interesting. Why can't we use our spell? Well, we've won. Why can't we actually use the spell? This is combat. It's sorcery combat? Combat, sorcery, battle. We're gonna have to double check this. You won the battle. The oven is scorching and melting in places. Whatever spirit possessed it is now gone. Did that complete the quest for us? We did, okay. So now... Oh, if you kill the oven before you talk to the baker, I don't think you can complete the quest. Just as a heads up. It's one of the reasons why you see me... If I see a ghost that isn't immediately hostile, then I will always attempt to communicate with it. We only have 1 point. We're just going to hold on to that. The ghostly dinner party. Oh, I love that picture. It seemed impossible at first, but slowly you recognize the sounds of clinking glasses and the soft murmur of conversation. A long dining table stands in front of you, surrounded at all ends by dusty chairs. As you come nearer, you think you detect some movement around the table, and the hairs on your arms begin to stand on end. It is suddenly very cold. A ghostly face peers out from behind one of the chairs, and in a heartbeat you see the apparition seated all around the table. The scene twists at the threads of your sanity. You struggle to comprehend this brush with the supernatural. You have rarely seen this many ghosts congregated together before. Come on, Pentacles. That is awesome. That's what we needed to not lose any more sanity. You have kept your sanity. You hardly feel at ease, but your willpower is rock steady. You're confronted by a very unusual scene. You stand before a dinner party of ghosts, who for the most part seem completely oblivious to your presence. Occasionally, you see a ghost looking around as if trying to find a servant. However, most of them seem fully preoccupied with ghostly gossip and dinner chatter. You decide to take a seat and see if you can use your skills as a medium to listen in on one of the conversations of the spirits. A subtle approach might be the most effective here, and they might have valuable information. I'll risk us getting another Pentacles. That was a mistake. Oh, yes! Okay, we did get another one, but I should have played the Queen at first. Well, no, I'm glad we did what we did. It was just risky. Ghosts say the most incredible things sometimes. You feel that new vistas have been opened up before you, which you haven't even recognized yet. Oh, interesting. So we defeated them, basically. A falling chandelier. You hear the sound of straining metal above you, and then a sudden crack. You look up and see a massive glass and metal chandelier falling directly towards you. Sidestep? Ooh. Or duck and roll. We will duck and roll. It gives us more card draw. Without hesitation, you throw yourself into a crouching roll and tumble away from the falling chandelier. We got a good draw. we have a good draw. Of course, if we get this pentacles. Alright, I'm immediately going to use the queen, because I do not like taking damage from traps at all. We can get some nasty effects from traps. You spring forward and come up on one knee free from the wreckage. That was a close one. Good job, Harley. Yes, come on, give me some more life. Give me some courage as well. Give me some courage. I will take it. Let's up our cups. Awesome. We have 4 in everything. And we've been playing for just under an hour, I think, everyone. So why don't we stop here? When we come back, we will explore more of the first floor of the mansion. I think... Here we go. And this is what we've seen so far in this awesome place. And we only have 1 token drawn so far. Once we get about here, the halfway point, I leave the mansion, I go down to the cellar, and we try to beat the game. But I'll wait until we are at least at the halfway point before I do so. We have plenty of time to try to increase our character's strength before we go down there. Well, in any case, I'm getting ahead of myself, everyone. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, everyone.